In this video, we'll go right into understanding how it is to start a business or having a business, and then trying to figure out the emergency fund situation. First of all, I always recommend to people to have a full-time job no matter what type of skill you're developing on the side online in order for you to make income. Have a full-time job. A steady paycheck keeps you sane and able to make better decisions than if you were in a situation where you don't have a steady paycheck. When you have a steady paycheck, you can actually work for free. And believe it or not, that is the fastest way for you to develop a high income skill, is to choose someone who's doing what you're doing and ask them to be a mentor for you, so that you can learn their skill set, so that you can actually faster move towards the destination where you want to go. Too many people are trying to make too fast money. And when you're trying to make too fast money, you're making bad decisions. And you're going to make decisions that's going to take you twice, 5 times, 10 times the time, which is unnecessary. So have a steady paycheck. Although you think that's the wrong way to go, might be, because a lot of entrepreneurs are like, I can never work for someone. I can never have a boss. Bro, you're going to have bosses for the rest of your life. That's how business works. Everyone is your boss, okay? All of your clients are your bosses. And you will eventually, if you want to keep someone and you want to keep working with them, you have to collaborate. And it's the same thing in your job. If you want to keep your job and they want to keep you, there needs to be a collaboration. So there's always a win-win situation going on, meaning you always have some sort of a boss, and then you get to be a boss as well at some point in time. But it's not in the beginning parts of your business, because you don't know much. Okay, so in the beginning, you got to allow yourself to be led, and that's where it starts. This is the discussion on emergency fund. The best way to have an emergency fund is to have a steady paycheck, and preferably a second and a third job, because then you'll learn how to actually spend your time wisely. See, your attention, your time, and your money, there's a priority list of what's most valuable. And the most valuable thing is your time. Actually, it's your attention, but attention and time kind of goes together, right? And then money is kind of like a low third or fourth or fifth or whatever it is. You need your attention and your time to be spent wisely, and that's what you need to learn most of all in the beginning. You should have an emergency fund when it comes to time, okay? That's really summing up this entire video, is learn how to manage your energy and time better so that you can pay attention, okay? Second of all, let's go straight to the second aspect, which is that you must understand your current living situation when it comes to your emergency fund. If you're a single dude that actually wouldn't mind sleeping on your best friend's couch for several months at a time, if he'll allow you, and you pay him $100 a month or whatever it is to help out with the rent. See, that is a fantastic thing if you are single, but if you have someone who's depending on you, like wife and kids, or you have an aging mother who's struggling with something, or whatever it is, someone is dependent on you, you might need an emergency fund just in case for them, okay? You're probably young and in your 20s or in your 30s, and your mind is still sharp, knock on wood, in terms of something bad actually happening to you, there's no need for an emergency fund, really, right? But I do recommend having one, and that's why we're discussing this. But if you are a single dude and your mind is sharp and you live your life in such a way that you don't take on tons of health risks, okay, activities, then you don't need that much of an emergency fund. If you have a big family, wife, kids, mother, blah, blah, things, people depending on you, okay, maybe you do need 6 months of an emergency fund. And 6 months of what? 6 months of what your expenses are. Yeah, so if you have a wife and kids, it's going to take you way longer to build a business in order for you to replace your income from that job. That's okay. Be okay with that process, because you want to be able to build a strong foundation for which you can actually succeed exponentially over time. If you're single, though, that's the cool part, because then you can actually take more risks. And obviously you need to take educated risk, but you can take risks so that, because you have nothing to lose, right? Keep your full-time job, keep that steady paycheck, but then a 3-month emergency fund might be sufficient. Maybe even just 1 month. Okay? Why do I say this? Because of opportunity. There are certain opportunity costs of not participating on things that are going to help you to progress faster in making money. And people are spending all this time saving dollars, okay? The thing that has actually lost 20% of its value over this past year. You're trying to stack up dollars? Like, inflation is going up faster than you're able to pay down, like, to save money. So, like, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be, most importantly, investing in you, in your skill sets, in your mind, and in your progression. You got to be wise about that, though. Like, what do you actually invest in? Well, preferably in the beginning, you shouldn't invest in anything until you've actually studied thoroughly what you're going to be doing. Do you know what you're going to be doing? If you don't know what you're going to be doing, I would recommend working with me as a coach, because I can help you and guide you in terms of your psychology of what is a good fit for you. A lot of guys just don't know what type of business to build. I'm like, bro, there's only 4 businesses that you can build online, okay? 4, there's 4, okay? It's sales, it's content creation, it's hacking or software development, and then it's trading. Those are the 4, okay? So I help you to figure out that one. And then once you understand that stuff and you understand yourself, right? Because that's what one of the philosophers, I don't remember what his name was, but know thyself. This is probably Socrates or something. Know thyself. If you know yourself and you've actually started a business that you're not going to quit, because that's the biggest problem people have, is that they start a business, quit a business, start a business, quit a business. Like, if you actually start a business that you're actually going to keep going, you see the speed that comes from working with the coach, because then you can actually start something that you're not going to quit. Most people quit. And so they take 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in order before they become a success. Or they give up on the process and just keep a job for the rest of their lives. Don't be that person, right? Once you understand that, then you'll have a stack of cash that you can invest in the programs and the skill sets that you need to learn in order for you to level up. So I've heard Jeremy Lee Minor say this, and also Alex Hormozi. They talk about how if you put your income, okay, on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper, and then you write $1 million above it, okay, so you take $1 million minus your yearly salary, and then you'll be left with the number down there. That yearly number is what it costs yearly for you to not make $1 million. And that $1 million simply comes from you learning a high income skill. If you learn a high income skill, you can learn to make $1 million. I'm not there yet, but that's just because of my lack of priorities, okay? But I'm just explaining to you guys, that's how the system works. So if you follow that mindset, oh, okay, so I don't need that big of an emergency fund. No, okay, so why would you need an emergency fund? You only need an emergency fund in order for you to not have to pivot to a different habitual daily schedule. That's the only reason why you need an emergency fund, really. See, if you have a job, but then you, or if anything, actually, if you don't have a job, let's say you put all of your eggs in one basket and started building your business, and you quit your job, you're never going to go back to that job, and you're going to just build your business. See, that emergency fund better be a freaking good one. Because if your business fails, okay, and it doesn't provide you any income anymore, you now have to pivot. You now have to change your daily habits to now suddenly getting a full-time job, or suddenly starting a different business, or start working for someone else in sales, or whatever it is. You don't want to be pivoting back and forth all of the time. And that's the only thing an emergency fund is for. It's so that you don't change strategies and tactics all of the freaking time. If you could just get that one thing out of the video, it's like, just do one thing and do it well until you succeed. That's all you need to know. If you do that, you're going to succeed on a massive scale long term, and that's the only emergency fund you needed. See, a 401k is trapping your cash. Don't do that stuff. You need cash right now in order for you to build your business. You only need, okay, you don't need the government. You don't need a retirement, okay? You need just your brain. And if you have a family, you need life insurance so that they can have something in case something happens to you. Knock on wood, right? But you personally, as long as you're alive, as long as you have a quick brain, you just need to simply invest in that brain and invest in your high income skill set, because that's going to pay for everything for the rest of your life. Everything for the rest of your life. So, like I said before, there's 4, all right? Sales, content creation, software development, and trading. Which one are you going to choose? That's what I wanted to say about your emergency fund. The real emergency fund is your high income skill set. Get one, and you get one the fastest by working for free for other people, for other entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next